All right, so good morning. Welcome to Solution Ghana. As you can see, we are showing you a very vivid view of the flyover at Spintex Flowerpot. It's quite a good news for Ghana. We've been praying and fasting for this actually, and now we have it. And just a few days ago, it was inaugurated by the president himself. 802 meters long interchange, which has decongested the Spintex East Legon area so well. Yesterday, I drove over it and I was surprised that an average of 20 minutes could get me from East Legon into Osu. I was so much in time for my meeting and we are all happy and glad about it. And actually, this is the second longest interchange in West Africa. The first is in Kano West in Nigeria. And so we are here to just do a little analysis and then throw some more light into this project and how far it has been. Our crew has been on the ground to make a few interviews, to have a few interviews with a Director General who oversees the whole project actually. And a contractor, one of the those who were leading the construction, a Chinese for that matter. We actually also had the privilege to catch some few moments when it comes to the ceremony itself. It was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was great. And we are very excited about this. So it is Vocal Brown on Solution Ghana. Just stay tuned. I have with me Alaji Ghana, who is always my comrade in the studios. And just a little on, we're going to have Dr. Ganyo Brian join us. He is a civil engineer. He's an entrepreneur as well. And he's going to join us very soon to look at some of the technical details of it, right? So we are here. We're going to show you intermittently some videos. Let's take a look at the inauguration ceremony video, and then we shall be back shortly.
Everybody, let's go.
Alaji Ghana, are you happy about this project? Have you taken a ride on it yet?
I'm yet to do that.
Okay. Charlie, you got it. It's a very interesting experience. But what's your impression so far?
It's an achievement and it's a progressive one. And I appeal to all Ghanaians to see as a good work and advise to that we shouldn't politicize them.
Yes.
That motivates people in doing more.
Yes.
Nobody should. I hear people talk about figures, money here, there, money which has gone into people's pockets. Could have done 1 million of this that we haven't collected.
Oh, Charlie.
So we should still please stop whining about money and pray behind whoever government Almighty God choose for us and help them to execute more of said projects to make us traffic free and make our economic viable to everybody.
Okay, all right. But seriously, I think that traffic has been immensely decongested in the area. And I think it's just beautiful to note. But you see, it's 802 meters long. I was going to get excited until I looked at, I observed and researched on the longest flyover we have in West Africa. That's in Nigeria, Kano West, as I mentioned. And it's 2.5 kilometers. So ours is not even like half. It's a little shy of half of that.
That is where I differ with when people look at things like that. Remember, Nigeria is a state in Nigeria might be Ghana. Okay, we should look at the distances they use in travel. Fortunately, we don't have that size of land. Fortunate and unfortunate. You know, the reason why they happen to have the longest one is due to one from point A to point B, a distance from one point to another. We don't have that. Nigeria is a big, that's why they have.
No, but generally, in West Africa, it does not throw light into the fact that a lot of countries are underdeveloped in West Africa.
Definitely. That's why I was telling you prior to the program that my brother, I'm not dissing any country. But you see, I love Ghanaians too. That's why I first said we should thank God and not politicizing and work progressively. Look, when you learn to countries like Liberia, Sierra Leone, the airport, you can't compare it to Tamale Airport. You can't compare it to Tamale Airport. You see, that is the sad part of the things people don't see. So they say, oh, this country GDP, this country economy. Go there and see.
Wow.
Go there and see what is going in there. When you look at it, why do you think West Africans see us as their kin? When they are in Ghana, they see like they are in America or Ghana. It's a reality check. People just don't want to accept it, but that's the reality.
We've gone far, right?
We've gone far. But the far we've gone doesn't mean that we are far. We're not supposed to be competing with someone. We should be competing with ourselves.
Yes.
If we start competing with ourselves, we'll achieve more than in everybody. But if we start competing with others, we're going to be saying, oh, I've done more than you, I've done more than this, I've done. And that is what is deterring us from the progress that we are supposed to be achieving. We should have our own objectives, which is supposed to be achieved. And once we don't achieve it, we fail. Then when we achieve then we pass. We shouldn't look at our objective into some people's objective.
Okay.
And that is what has.
So do you think we are doing well so far when it comes to roads, construction, interchange?
We've done well, but I will just.
Kupasi interchange now.
Yeah, they mentioned, but that's not enough. We've done a little bit. And progressively, we have to do more. And there are sensitive areas we have to see to do that. People are talking of interchange. It's like a bridge. There are links that are supposed to be done that is linked to the food that we always cry.
Yeah.
And so we should look at those aspects too.
Okay.
And that will help us grow better.
So I pray that the next government would spring on from here, because we have a lot of work to do.
He did well by continuing, because some people are arguing unnecessary. Yes, Mama nobody should take that from Hama. He started this. He mentioned it. And Poppy, he inaugurated it. And it is done. So people should stop. At the same way, till that another upset up like setting agenda one and setting if it is not done, and Mahama or whoever comes, the person should just pursue an agenda, and else it always costs us more debt.
Yes.
When we take money to do something, and we make some of it goes waste, it becomes a problem. And then when people get up tomorrow and say, oh, you have more debt, they forget that the debt came from years back. So people need to understand the economy. Imagine when this was said, if it was done, at that time, how much them had cost it at about 67 M. It ended up being done at 147. But people should, I'm not mentioning the figure for people to look 147 M. Ghana cedis. I'm not mentioning the figure for people to look at it. Because if you go into dollar, meaning at that time it would have been 4.3 something. Now it is 9.2 million. We shouldn't be, I've just mentioned for us to know that these are the effort and we shouldn't use those things. We like to nitpick. And when I say nitpick, what I mean is that we like to look into things and take bad in it and be talking about it. But we forget that in everything, in every bad, there is good. In every good, there is bad. So when we are looking into bad, we should just pick the good in it. When we are looking into good, we should identify the bad in it and set them aside.
Okay.
And that will help us to get to a better place.
Okay. So we should all agree this is a good project. No matter your faction in politics, this is a good project. It's a great one. We should applaud it. And we should encourage more of it.
Yeah, we should welcome those kind of projects.
Yes. All right. So we're going to go to the next clip, and then we'll be back. I want you to, have a feel of the interview. Just observe the interview we had with the Director General of Roads and Urban Construction in the country. The name is going to appear on the screens. Just listen to the short interview, and then we'll have Dr. Ganyama join us to make a little technical analysis of everything, and then we are out of here. See you soon.
Please, can you enlighten us which company was contracted to do this?
Well, the construction company is China Railway Number 5.
Okay.
And it was supervised on behalf of the then Department of the Urban Roads by Duke Limited. Yes.
Okay, so currently as it stands, how long is this supposed to go? What measures are we looking at when it comes to maintenance of this?
Well, we have our maintenance practices already. We have our routine maintenance, which involves cleaning and other things. And we have a periodic maintenance too, which we'll do bridge inspections. And if there are any defaults or deformities that we see, we'll correct it.
And how often do these maintenances happen?
Routine maintenance is a daily issue. It includes even sweeping, and there are other things that we will do. But most importantly, what makes this bridge unique is not just the mobility solution they provide. It also creates spaces. We've activated the spaces underneath the bridge for other uses, which offers business and employment opportunities. So this is one of its kind and the first in the country that we have done that. So clearly, this is a total solution to the challenges we have in the area. As you can see, there are a lot of petty trading in the area, even though it's in front of a number of shops. There are spaces that we've created for other sporting and recreational activities, and also for emergencies like fire station, ambulance posts, and also police posts. So we've tried to build a whole community under the bridge and to make it as activated as possible.
How durable is this?
Well, this is also steel and concrete, but this is what we call a box girder. So you have the box girder right through from here up to East Legon, and that is the W-shaped box that we have, and it has its own technical advantages. Of course, I don't think that's what you're asking, but we have a box girder bridge throughout, and both the main bridge and the ramps.
Can you enlighten us just a little bit about the
it's still a
technical?
combination of concrete and steel.
Yeah, the technical advantages. Can you enlighten us?
It will take you too long to understand that. There are different types of bridges. We normally have a beam and slab that we have been doing, but lately what we've been doing is a box girder, which is faster to build and also gives us longer room in the underneath the spaces between the piers. So it has its own advantages. That way.
So thank you very much, sir, for your time. We deeply appreciate.
All right, so you just listened to Mr. James Amu Godfred. He's the Director General of National Roads and Authority, actually, in the nation. And you just heard him. We're going to make things a little more audible as we go on. But it's been an interesting interview. He mentioned a few intricate things that I want us to throw more light on. And this is where I would need the services of Dr. Gagnon Brian. And he is the owner of Oasis Limited, Realty Limited. He is a businessman. He is an architect. He is also into many other things, actually, that we cannot mention all now. But Doc, are you here with us?
Yes, I am. How are you doing?
I am doing very, very, very well. I pray you're doing well yourself.
Absolutely, absolutely. Greetings to all the viewers and anywhere in the world.
All right.
I like your suit, so we'll talk about it later.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, so straight to our discussion, looking at some technical things that were projected by the Director General. What's your general impression about this project in the first place?
Okay, thank you. So generally, it's a very good initiative, and it has come at a very timely place where we needed such interventions to be done. In fact, there has been previous plans to sort of decongest that stretch of road, and so far most of them had proved futile. So this has come as a very critical and very tumultuous time where we are having this flyover come at, to say generally, For those of us who do a lot of businesses around the Spintex Road, we know how Herculean it has been, just commuting from the underbridge to maybe Melcombe or to any part of that stretch. Be it that it is also a light industrial area where at the end of the day, most of our construction items are being sold there. If you want, almost all the big companies that are into building construction and other related services, most of them are found on that stretch. So it became imperative that a decongestion plan that is more long-term be established so that at the end of the day, it eases traffic. There are a lot of data and research that has gone into it. According to even the statistical department on how much we are losing a day and a year on traffic on that stretch of road, you'll be surprised. The latest that came was that we lose almost 50 million United States dollars on traffic on only that stretch of road. Absolutely. So when you compare 50, yes, that's time wasted in terms of viable time that could have been used for something productive on that stretch. So as Alaji Ghana was saying, you realize that when you are looking at the figures, you're also looking at how much we had lost technically and vis-a-vis. Because if you are losing that amount of money only through lack of production that goes on that stretch and how much we are losing, then you see that it is a very good investment that has come at the right time.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much for that insight. So has it solved the problems in the area? What's your impression?
Not at all. So in Ghana, our major problem is that we don't do a more holistic planning in terms of thinking about the long run in the next 10 years, in the next 20 years, in the next 50 years, and also have a national plan where we are saying that, okay, this flyover is going to run maybe 3 stories or 5 stories or 6 stories in the future, and then actually planning it in such a way that there are long-term additional infrastructures that are being added to sort of mitigate whatever is going on there. As we all know, traffic is going to always increase. No matter how much the cost of vehicles are, people are still going to buy more vehicles. So at the end of the day, in planning, anywhere in the world, in planning, you don't look at what would be solving in the next 5 years. We are looking at 20 years, 30 years, 50-year plans. In fact, some countries have situations where they have planned 50 years ahead of time. So any infrastructures that they are putting in place is to cater for people and traffic in the next 50 years. So you travel to countries where nobody is actually using the roads, but they have 5 lanes, they have 8 lanes, they have 7 lanes, they have 6 lanes. So at the end of the day, you realize that Ghana is just to sort of solve the immediate problems that we have and then wait until there's another problem, then we can actually do something about it again. So I am of the opinion that I do not know, and I do not have the white paper giving me the insights properly into whether this flyover is the end of the infrastructural development around the area, or there are future plans where we are going to have other flyovers on top of it. In other developed locations, we have situations where flyovers go as much as 6 stories, 7 stories, 8 stories. So at the end of the day, those plan is to sort of decongest an entire area pending the future, because whatever it is, we are still going to have traffic situations.
Yes.
Most importantly, Doc said important things that we need to look at. You see, the transport as we stand now, we have to even be, I would say we have to be intimidated and be afraid of it. As we stand now, Ghanaians are not using more than 35% of cars we should have used. And there is this traffic. So absolutely. Imagine if we were using 50% of the cars we should have used. Imagine what would have happened. So the projection of what he's saying about foresight, looking ahead of what it will be. If we are not using,
mitigating it now.
As we stand, if we are not using about 35% and we are facing this traffic, then we should be looking at 200% and other things. In the next 25 years, so that we do big things.
Yeah.
What
That's a very good thing that
Yes.
is taught.
Doctor, what I actually noticed today, actually, after dropping my children in school and coming back in East Legon, I realized that and observed that in driving, there was quite some, the traffic had built up from the ARS, in Pansem Road, right through to American House. Probably because everybody is in a rush to use the flyover. Probably it looks like, in calculation, one of the fastest routes now to get into Accra and its surrounding areas. So I realize with what you're saying that traffic could be building on the latter side, the latter ends, that are not immediately around the flyover if we don't take care, right? Have you observed that yourself?
Yeah. So in research, we call something foresight conflictations, which basically is the fact that when you are solving a particular problem, there could be other auxiliary ones that you might have overlooked, that you wouldn't have put into perspective, as you have said. So it is very, very important for us to understand that whatever has been done is very, very good. But there are other ones that we could have done to sort of search into this one, so that at the end of the day, it's a more holistic approach than just solving one problem because there's a congestion at one particular place. Once you solve
it, the issue of money. Maybe we don't have the money. Can we agree on that? Maybe we don't have the money.
But I differ from that. You see, prior to doing this, even the former president had also even mentioned it in his speech. Prior to doing this, the agenda was to, when he planned to do this, they had intended to do underbridge. And when they looked at the figures on underbridge, it was 27 something million Ghana, where to expand underbridge. And they realized if they do underbridge, they're still going to face a problem. So it's better they do this. That was why they did the pillars there. But when our government, the government came in, they came in and did the underbridge. If you watch underbridge, it's being expanded.
Yes.
And it's done.
Yes.
And they did this. What I need is, I think we need education and road signs, education very well, and restriction from police and other people. There are some angles people can't enter into roads that causes traffic. That's the major. Because if you have road signs, that's if you are from this angle, you can only use underbridge. If you are in this angle, you can go this. If you want to use this, you have to go all this route. I believe it, and believe me or not, people will be. Because me, I've been an advocate of, at times even confronting police people for traffic regulation. I don't think there is any, when people do what we are doing is not traffic regulation. The laws are very good and strict when you look at Ghana law as compared to the United States one, which I know evidently. But unfortunately, our enforcement exercise doesn't concentrate on the most important aspect of it. We rather go on the wrong aspect of it, or confronting drivers for licenses, which are not even sometimes you are not even allowed or required by law to do it. Instead of making sure that this person doesn't violate it, and if you violate it, that is where you deal with it.
So we are talking about what we can do to manage the situation now.
Yeah, but including education, other things, which I am concerned of. Because National Commission on Civic Education is mute in this world we are living. They only come out when maybe somebody triggered them with his interest. I've personally tried, and Solution Ghana have tried to get to them. To no avail. So I'm pleading, and I believe their boss CEO that I have spoken on phone will hear this and adhere to our call to explain. We can also assist them to raise funds and do what they are supposed to do. Because National Commission on Civic Education, when we were growing, even when Rollins came and on the First Republic, what we realized that they were even printing the Constitution page by page and distributing it. Today, we always count on Electoral Commission on everything. When National Commission on Civic Education is supposed to be educating us about laws that is made in Parliament, we think court and other issues. So I plead with everybody that those listening to us and the government, they should look at the education and the instruction. East Legon, and secondly, my brother talk about everybody passing. Me, I never get in traffic in East Legon cantonment because I know roads that next. Those are areas that the demarcation is good. So if you know certain roads, you just cut it out and go. But unfortunately, not everybody knows. So that's why the road signs and the education are needed.
Okay.
And enforced.
All right. So I think that this just cuts in to make wholesome the fact that we need long-term plans. And while we have this, there are the civic bodies and we ourselves, what we need to do to make sure that we don't cause traffic, at least we lessen the issues and the problem. We're also part of the government anyway. So let's do our part to make this work. Okay. So Doctor, thank you for your contributions, but I need to ask you one thing, technical thing. During the interview, Gladys was having an interview with the Director General. He mentioned that there were technological advancements in comparison to other projects they've done before. They've mentioned boulders and steel as part of the things that they added to. There's some of the technical things. In your observation, what are some of the advantages here? Or if you can expose us on it a bit.
Okay, so this type of bridge is what we call the Gida bridge. And as you know, we have several types of bridge. We have the arch bridge, we have the Gida bridges, we have the pile bridges and the rest. So this is a typical example of a Gida bridge. And based on the assessment of what type of Gida they used the box Gida to do this one. So it's basically just an enclosed tube with multiple walls made from steel or aluminum and then precast concrete. So basically what it means is that it is technically more advanced than the plate types that we used to have. So we used to have the plates, Gida, and then now there's a box Gida. So because the box Gida is more compact and it's more solid, then it makes it relatively more compact, and also long-term wise, it's able to take care of twisting motion. We have called something twisting motion. Okay. Anytime a vehicle uses a stretch of road that is suspended, there's what we call twisting motion. So it acts on the structure and then it dissipates its force on it. So this is able to stop, compensate, and is more compatible for strength and for durability also. So this type of bridge, based on what has been done, is going to help us a lot. In fact, it is relatively more durable and more solid than the other types of bridges that we currently have in Ghana.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So at least we can say that technology is advancing and we are progressing, and I'm sure that other projects that are going to come are going to have more sophisticated things added to it that are going to add value to what we are doing. So I think it's a good one. And thank you so much for your contribution, Doctor. I want us to play a petty trader we interviewed under the bridge. She was so much positive. Updates that we've had after the inauguration. It's not too advantageous.
And I would like to also add, after the interview of the trader, something that the engineer said concerning the provision of trade centers beneath the interchange, and I have some reservations about it, so I would like to put it through.
No, I think you should do that. Just do that now because I don't want us to be distracted from it. Let's do that now.
So basically, based on the interview that absolutely he had intimated that there were going to be situations where trade centers were going to be made beneath the underbridge and all those things in order to boost trade and to boost and I am of the opinion that for any developing or developed countries, I have traveled all over the world. I've never ever seen a situation where there's clumsiness and disorder around any bridge or underbridge. The reason is that by human nature, we all know that anywhere there is speed and there is traffic, the tendency that people would get injured and hit down by vehicles is relatively higher. So any forthright and forward-thinking engineer or institution will not permit for the overcrowding of places where there is mobility. Imagine a situation where there's an accident or someone fails their brakes and runs into the place, because it doesn't just make sense for people to be gathered and trading under a bridge where we all know that there are tendencies where there could be accidents and it will run into those places.
Okay.
Accidents are things that you cannot control. Everybody wakes up, and by the time you realize you have everything working on your car, you know that you used it yesterday, but you are driving and all of a sudden anything can happen. You might lose traction, you might lose your brake, you might lose focus, you might lose direction, and at the end of the day, it will run into these people who are trading peacefully under these bridges. So I am of the opinion that that's initiative by the ministry is a backward, and it's a very bad precedent, because it is sort of enabling people and also letting them not make utilization of the beauty that we have on this bridge. Number one, there's going to be, apart from the fact that we are going to have a congestion of people trading and moving around the runabout, we are also going to have situation with sanitation. Because we know that everywhere 2 or 3 people are gathered in Ghana, there's going to be filth, and that is not going to be managed properly. And I know for a fact that it is going to be a problematic. There's going to be vandalism, there's going to be abuse of the space. And so I don't see the reason why we should encourage it in the first place. So if it is something that the government thoroughly thought through and individuals really gone to the board table to look at, then it is very, 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 very unfortunate that they came up with such a thing, and which is going to sort of take the glory out of this entire beautiful edifice that we have as Ghanaians.
But Doctor, in perspective, Lajgan also wants to say something, but in perspective, there are some critical things that should be there, right? Should we agree that a fire station, a police station, and any other should at least be there? Those critical things should be there. But probably, I'm sure they are not allowing petty trading, like we heard, and we got updated about the coconut trader.
Exactly, that is what exactly he said, that they were going to make traders be there.
Yeah, he made that comment. That's quite interesting. But I'm sure he's going to prioritize the critical ones. But he mentioned other businesses. He even mentioned a recreational center. I'm sure that by the time he's placing all these under the bridge, petty traders may not really be the priority, or probably would be on the, on the wings further away. Well, that we can discuss.
Whether they
that
are on the wings, in the
really
wings, or by the wings. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be
wherever they find themselves, it is not advisable. I would assure you that it would bring more problems than it would merit anybody in Ghana right now, because in proximity to the space we are currently having, we have a police station about 100 meters away. So why would you need to put another police station under the bridge? It doesn't just make sense.
Okay.
No.
It doesn't just make sense.
Okay, Alashgan, what do you say about that?
I was going to just mention the distance. You said there is no need of anything under the bridge. If you say community center,
fire station,
you are bringing people around, and you are telling those people in Medina, Atomic, and other people whom we are trying to, that they can stay. It's a good business to do. When they see people abuse and attack on those bridges, it's like you build a beautiful thing, and now you want to condone criminal act and other violent activities on it. The only thing that needs to be there is police laundry. We don't put police station under the bridge. The police will be there on duty to go back and forth and make sure that nobody, and I mean nobody, immediately you start saying, oh, let's put this, you are saying things which are priority. Somebody's priority is bringing vendors to sell. We have individual differences in democracy. That is why we lack and we fail in certain things. We took a system without looking at how the system should be handled, because people among us have different cultures and different discretion.
But are we saying that regulations are not working? Because for me, the language we are emitting, it's also connoting something that, well, even if there's regulation in place, we can't trust ourselves to be disciplined enough.
We are not. You know, I personally told him we are unconscious in this country. We have to be brought to conscious.
Not even when a police station is there.
Why? Yeah. People, have you ever drove across Medina to Medina? Look, police even beating them the road to other side, even though there's a bridge. I told somebody they should do them New York City style. When you cross in, that's why I pray that they should start doing those MC elections. Because when they do it, if God bless some of us who have intention that that's the only way we'll enter in politics and we have a jurisdiction, we will use it as a pilot or program to show people. When they do it, when you cross, nobody's beating you. They're taking you up. They're taking your Ghana card. Oh, go. On your mama, you will see money will be getting lost on your mom. And message is given to you. Then it becomes testable.
Because people don't see consequence. We don't give consequences. There's no consequences, so it becomes a problem. Exactly. So it's something that we don't have to, as Alhaji Ghana is saying, exactly, to know we shouldn't condone it from the beginning because we know our people. And irrespective of the fact that it sounds and looks like it's a good idea, we know that implementation is a problem in Ghana and that it will not inure to the general benefit and the prudence of Ghana right now.
No, whenever you have a platform anywhere to aside Solution Ghana, tell them we need more of it. From this place, Manet Junction needs a bridge like that to link to and come to, even when you are going from I think when you're heading towards okay, there's a bridge, total bridge made there. It was intended to also link through to Manet Junction for a bridge like that. We need more of
Yes, indeed. Indeed, we need more of that. We need more of that.
And I'm happy for what you've said. No mercy. We shouldn't consider anything to be done there. We are appealing to our leaders to listen to us. Please, don't allow even a police station there.
Well, I think that a fire station.
No, a police station can be closer to not
another bridge. All right. I'm sure this debate can go on. All right.
The fire station is there, and then before the fire is broken, a car land on the fire station and burn everything there. When the fire station people get there, they have their strategic position to position them along the motorway. The land is for government, has acquired it already.
Yes.
I know if one person will come, you see the police station, you have to pass this level, right? Before the police station, on the motorway side, there's after extending the road, there's a whole land line there. They can use it to pull the fire side down.
Okay.
So to create that, we are very creative and we are not just honest with ourselves in execution.
Okay.
In execution, we mix.
Okay. So, all right. Thank you so much for that interjection, Doctor. So let's play the short interview, the petty trade interview. Very interesting what she said. I don't know if what she said and what she was expecting is what's on the ground now, but let's listen to that.
Okay, so I am here and I'm with one of the hawkers who work around here, and I want to ask a few questions about the benefits of this place and what she really thinks about what is going on here today. Ma'am, Pacho, good afternoon. Pacho, it's me who did.
Pacho, from Atta.
Okay, now Pacho, I know tired you more.
Pacho.
Now, and the dear cause wahano, unim dear cause dear.
Pacho.
Utumi can be chair.
Like near Koso. Pacho, Nana Danka Kofado. Almost a bay quine into your baby in there.
Na oba baby no asem de mamo a amoton de wa ha na say it's the same.
Pacho,
Asem de.
Pacho.
Okay, na what's high area out there?
Pacho, I met Flowerpot.
No, to make a change. Send na traffic near Tifa.
Traffic in India. It's me cheaper by yes, school Corano. A young mucha will come. Bedroom, you know, Chinombesa Quinto, bedroom, a bay late, or late. Meanwhile, China Sombesako. It's a way so where a boam at me a drufin, so that I did no massa.
It's usually pass flyover idea. A babuama traffic no esobeti.
I traffic no subeti na first dear a bad. You really bad.
It has a part. Yeah, I hope so. And I'm out. Okay, so that was just one of the hawkers who lives around and who works here, and she says that well, the traffic situation has been terrible for a very long time. So she believes that this flyover will help with the traffic situation and also help with the school children and to go get to their schools and come back early in time. We'll try and see if we can get other hawkers to also talk to and see what they think about this. Thank you.
But that was an interview with the petty trader by Gladys Coomson. And well, she was expressing quite some joy and the promise of good business. I'm not too sure if she made a very objective analysis of that, because I'm not too sure any petty trader is enjoying the scenario, looking at the inhibitions and the limitations and the frustrations there. Of course, we are all of the view that the place should be devoid of any hawking or petty trading for that matter. Well, Alajigana, what do you say to that?
Definitely, that is necessary because hawking around. When you talk about hawking, people think you don't like people, you want people to go and do business elsewhere. And I always tell them there is the solution to every problem is always in the problem. You progress from one point to another. There are places you are not allowed to do it. Why? What does that affect you? Nobody will deny you from going to where it is being done. So when a place is earmarked for as security zone, don't go and do this. Don't go and do that. Please let adhere to the law and make peace prevail with police and us. So people shouldn't pursue an agenda to let water to people. That's why initially I said, Ghanaians, if we want to fix Ghana, let's debar ourselves from political arguments.
Because somebody said she wasn't going to, a hawker actually, she wasn't going to vote for the government because they've taken business from her.
You see the figure doctor mentioned, 50M. If you know what 50M can do. No, you see, the sad part is that some of our politicians might not even know what 50M can do. So they will be listening to those kind of vendors who are saying, I will not vote for you. But if you are a legitimate politician who has Ghana at heart, and 50M USD has been unlocked for people to take, you would not adhere to this thing.
Okay.
We rather have to, there's a lot of intervention which has come, be trained for certain vocations. You see, most of the people, what I have realized, people use phones, smartphones, right? It's a business enterprise in people's hands. But people use it to do wrong things. I always meet students taking pictures and I say, oh, why not take your friend's dress? It is nice, and ask him or her where he's selling. He bought it and then put it, if your people say they like, you go and take it and
so there are various
businesses
options and ways
you just have to
sell your stuff, right? And I think it's going to compel the populace to also not be looking out for the wrong places.
That's the most important thing we said earlier.
To go to the right place to market.
Listen, the corruptor and there's no corruption without a corruptor. And most importantly, if a car stops on the bridge to buy something from somebody, that car should be penalized more than the person or equal to the person who is on the bridge hawking or trading. And that is what can be adhered. And police has to be instructed on that straight.
And be proactive on it.
When they are on duty, there is no issue about when somebody does that, we just need, IGP don't need to go and drive him to police station. Take his car number and his identity, just have a picture of him on the act. And that's enough for court. A lot of things, we don't have to go to police station.
I think we are having camera these days at various.
I have suggested this about the before previous IGP time. I think we have some. I have even suggested this straight that before prior for them to go and get cameras on police. I said every police is working with camera on him. No police will be tempted to collect money, and nobody too will be. When he sees you committing crime, he either give you a ticket and you pay on the system, or he give you a ticket, you go and pay later. With that, we will be able to get to places.
All right. So we are grateful for how far we have come. There's a lot that has been said. Doctor, if you're still there, thank you so much for all the knowledge and understanding you have contributed to the program. Yes, quite some patience there. So we are grateful. All right. And quite some interesting chances we have passed. And I pray that the necessary authorities are listening and are taking some
Well, we
cues.
need Dr. back another time.
Yes, of course, we need him back. Yes, we need him back.
Thanks for
thank you so much, Doc.
Thanks for
Thank
the
you so much.
opportunity to.
Your last impressions? Anything you want to say before we file off? We're going to have a drive. Somebody sent me a video. Actually, a friend of mine sent me a video driving on the interchange. We're going to have a feel of his drive, all right, as the last take. But then just give me your conclusions, your submissions, and then we'll get that on it. And we are done.
Yes, so I'll take the opportunity to thank all Ghanaians for their contributions directly and indirectly in fulfilling this mandate as Ghanaians to ease that traffic on that stretch of road. And I'll commend the contractors and all stakeholders who ensured that this was finished on time. Secondly, I would appeal to all Ghanaians to ensure that the maintenance culture of our systems are working, and then we should consciously not make to clutter the place. I would entreat also all the leaders who conceived the idea of commercializing the interchange to desist from that, and that we know very well that it will not inure to the long-term benefit of the environs, be it based on the sanitation grounds, be it on the hawking, the accidents that it might cause, and furthermore, the delay it will cause, being that, as Mr. Ghana said, Alaji Ghana said, once a vehicle slows down, it also increases traffic tendencies to purchase something on the bridge, under the bridge, anywhere. So we should desist from that completely. And since we are solving a problem, we should not add more problems, or we should not sort of feed in any more problems to exacerbate it. So we thank all Ghanaians, and we thank you for your platform, for using it also efficiently and effectively to sort of send solutions out there and to also make grounds for future developments.
Thank you so much, Doctor. We just heard from Dr. Ganyome Elon Bryan. He's an architect, an entrepreneur, and CEO of Imperial Oasis Realty and Construction Limited. And it's been Vocal Brown on Solution Ghana. And my co-host, Alaji Ghana, is always hot. And he's always, pushing us into places where we want to be and we don't want to be. Thank you so much for always being with me, comrade. And it's been an exciting journey. We'll bring this to an end. But before that, let's have a ride. See you.